Welcome to Marketing Notes from the Binder, your daily dose of bite-sized marketing insights to help you market smarter and grow faster. See, these notes come straight from my digital marketing vault, which are curated by myself, Allen Stafford, and narrated with a little help from AI. So let's jump into today's notes. In this episode, we're decoding the brand new Liberation Day tariffs. And this is a flat 10% duty on most imports, plus the death of the easy de minimis loophole for China and Hong Kong shipments. See, if you're a small e-commerce shop that lives on tight margins or a dropshipper who relies on lots of tiny packages, your cost structure, well, it just did a backflip. So stick around and you'll leave with 5 concrete plays, supply chain pivots, ad spend reallocations, and profit-protecting price tricks that you can start immediately.
Welcome to the deep dive. We've got some really interesting stuff you shared this time. Crucial, actually.
Yeah, it feels very timely.
Definitely. We're diving into Allen Stafford's Marketing Notes from the Binder podcast. That's marketingbinder.com. Specifically looking at these new Liberation Day tariffs and, well, what they mean for small businesses, for e-commerce folks like you listening.
Right. And Allen's tagline, grow bold, go beyond. Practical marketing insights that deliver results seems spot on for this. It's about navigating change.
Exactly. So we want to blend Allen's, practical on-the-ground take with some broader analysis.
The goal is really to unpack it all, take these big shifts and pull out the key impacts, and importantly, some actionable strategies for your business. Make it manageable.
Okay, so let's set the scene a bit. We've got these Liberation Day tariffs. There's a baseline, 10% duty on most imports coming into the U.S.?
That's the baseline, yeah. But then there are extra country-specific tariffs layered on top. China's obviously a big focus there, given the trade situation.
And the real kicker seems to be this change to the de minimis rule, the under $800 shipments.
Exactly. That exemption for packages under $800 from China and Hong Kong, it's being suspended. That kicks in May 2nd.
May 2nd, okay.
Yeah.
That feels significant, especially for certain business models.
Oh, absolutely. That suspension is potentially a major turning point. If your business relies on lots of small shipments or you're working on really tight margins, this changes the math completely.
Right. It really forces a rethink of sourcing. So that brings us to the core question, the one everyone listening is probably asking. How does this actually hit my business, my e-commerce store?
And what can I do about it? That's the key.
Yeah, what are the concrete steps? That's what we want to get into today, using Allen's practical marketing approach as our guide, along with that wider economic view.
Okay, let's jump in. First big pressure point, rising costs and the potential for supply chain headaches. That 10% baseline tariff. Allen Stafford would definitely stress this. It's not just a number on paper. It's a direct hit to the cost of goods for loads of small businesses, loads of e-commerce sellers importing stuff.
And let's drill down on that de minimis suspension again, because Allen's flagged this too, right? It's a big one.
Huge. So starting May 2nd, those small packages, under $800 from China, Hong Kong, they might have just sailed through duty-free before.
Yeah.
Now, they could face duties, and some analysis suggests it could be, incredibly high. Maybe 120%, or even a flat fee, like $100, maybe $200 per package.
Wow. Okay, so if you're drop shipping or getting small component parts regularly from there,
your whole cost structure could be thrown way off. It's exactly the kind of real-world impact Allen focuses on in his work.
Absolutely. Think about like a small boutique selling unique clothes or accessories sourced that way. You can't just absorb a massive duty increase like that easily.
No way. It forces tough choices. Do you raise prices? Can you even keep selling certain things? And, the analysis shows smaller businesses feel this pinch more. They don't have the clout of a Walmart to negotiate or just soak up the costs.
So what are the practical options? Thinking with Allen Stafford's kind of results first mindset, diversifying the supply chain seems like a big one.
Definitely. Allen often says, don't put all your eggs in one basket. This is a classic case. The analysis we looked at mentioned Latin America as maybe less effective.
Right, as potential alternatives.
Yeah, and while Allen would always add the caveat, you have to do your homework before shifting suppliers, exploring regions that aren't facing these heavy tariffs, could offer more stability long term. It's about risk mitigation, building resilience, stuff Allen talks about constantly.
And what about sourcing domestically? Made in USA.
That's the other side of the coin. Now, Allen's practical. He knows domestic sourcing can sometimes mean higher initial costs, but if the landed cost of imports shoots up because of tariffs, maybe the gap narrows. Maybe domestic suppliers start looking more competitive. Not just on price, perhaps, but maybe on lead times, reliability.
That's an interesting dynamic. So it becomes a different kind of cost-benefit calculation.
Exactly. Allen would probably frame it like that. Pay a bit more upfront domestically maybe, but gain stability, shorter lead times, less risk of stockouts. That could actually boost your bottom line. Plus, maybe a marketing angle there too.
Highlighting made locally or made in USA, yeah. And then there's the fundamental thing Allen always stresses, proactive inventory management.
Oh, absolutely critical, especially now. You've got to anticipate potential delays, potential shortages because of all this tariff disruption, adjusting your ordering. It's just smart business.
Makes total sense. Keep the wheels turning, keep customers happy, even if the supply chain gets bumpy.
It's about minimizing those disruptions to your actual sales. That's the practical result Allen focuses on.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. How does this affect the customer, their behavior, what they buy? Allen's always tracking market shifts.
And the expectation here is, a definite move towards more budget-conscious shopping. People prioritizing essentials over wants, really hunting for value, maybe making fewer shopping trips, looking more at discount retailers.
That sounds familiar for times of economic uncertainty, doesn't it?
Totally. If the cost of things goes up because tariffs get passed on, consumers naturally get more careful with their money. Allen would likely advise keeping a really close eye on that consumer sentiment.
And some sectors might feel it more, right? The analysis mentioned apparel, electronics, furniture, toys, potentially seeing bigger sales drops if tariffs are high.
Yeah, if your business is in one of those areas, you're probably already thinking hard about adapting. It's where Allen's grow bold, go beyond idea really needs to kick in. Be proactive, not just reactive.
So what are some of those proactive strategies? Drawing on Allen's marketing smarts, selective price increases, maybe?
Instead of just hiking prices across the board, you look strategically. Maybe some items can handle a small increase. Others, you need to keep really competitive on price.
So understanding your product's price sensitivity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Allen talks about knowing the elasticity. Which items can take a bump without killing demand? It's a way to manage the tariff impact without tanking your overall sales.
Another idea Allen often brings up, bundling.
Yes. Creating bundles can deliver that feeling of value for the customer, even if individual item costs have nudged up. Pair a tariff-fit product with something cheaper, maybe a related service. Make the whole package look good.
Creating a win-win, as Allen would say. Good for the customer's perception of value, good for you managing costs.
Precisely. And then there's private labels. This is interesting.
Yeah. How so?
Well, as people get more value-focused, private label brands, store brands, essentially often see a boost. They typically offer similar quality, but at a lower price. Allen's mentioned this as a way for businesses to control their own value story.
Ah, I see. So developing or pushing your own private label gives you more control over sourcing, pricing, directly targeting that value shopper.
Exactly. It helps you build loyalty around affordability and quality that you control.
Okay, let's switch to digital advertising. How does this tariff situation potentially change things there? There's talk of maybe an overall dip in digital ad spending.
Yeah, that's one forecast. When costs go up and sales look uncertain, marketing budgets often get a hard look. Allen always says make every dollar count, right? That's going to be amplified now.
You need a data-driven approach, focusing on what delivers the best return.
Absolutely. But interestingly, not all channels are expected to react the same way. Search ads where people are actively looking for stuff and connected TV or CTV, they might hold up better.
Okay. Whereas social media platforms might see a pullback, especially those heavily used by big Chinese e-commerce advertisers.
That seems logical. Search captures intent, as Allen points out. People are already in the market. That's efficient spending in uncertain times. CTV keeps growing its reach and targeting. And yeah, if major international players like Temu or Shein face tariff issues, their ad spend on social could decrease.
So for our listeners, thinking about Allen's practical, results-driven approach, what are the actionable marketing shifts?
Number 1, prioritize performance advertising. Campaigns with clear, measurable ROI.
Know your numbers, track everything.
Allen's big on metrics. Now more than ever. Know what's driving sales, what's converting, optimize relentlessly.
And recognizing search marketing's strength right now seems key too. If people are searching, you need to be visible. Allen reinforces that a lot.
Capturing existing demand via search might be more reliable than trying to generate new demand with broader campaigns when budgets are tight.
And what about emphasizing being local? Allen's talked about that in other contexts.
Yeah, that could be a real advantage now. If international competitors are dealing with higher costs, shipping delays, highlighting that you're local, reliable, maybe faster. That builds trust.
Connects with the community too, which Allen likes. Customers might feel safer, dealing locally amidst all the global uncertainty.
Makes sense. Okay, let's zero in on e-commerce specific stuff, drawing on Allen's expertise there. Marketplace diversification.
Yes. Allen always warns against relying too heavily on just one platform, like just Amazon or just Shopify. This situation really highlights why.
Spreads the risk, right? If one platform takes a hit because of tariff issues affecting sellers there, you've still got other channels open, other ways to reach customers.
Keeps the sales flowing. And strengthening your own direct-to-consumer channel, your own website, basically.
Another classic Allen Stafford recommendation. Building that direct customer relationship gives you so much more control over the brand experience, communication.
And potentially lower fees compared to marketplaces, right?
Right.
Helps profitability.
Definitely. Allen's all for owning that customer relationship, owning your brand story. DTC lets you do that and keep more of the revenue.
And finally, a really practical point from Allen's experience, just being transparent with customers. If prices do have to change because of tariffs,
tell them. Be upfront. Explain it's an industry thing, not just you hiking prices for no reason. Allen believes in honesty. It builds trust, fosters understanding, even when the news isn't great.
Customers appreciate that transparency usually. They know things are happening in the economy.
Yeah. Okay, let's revisit that ad optimization piece for a second. Thinking specifically about those channels flagged as potentially more resilient search, obviously, but also retail media. Ads on Amazon, Walmart Connect, Instacart.
Right, and the logic there, which fits Allen's thinking about meeting customers where they're ready to buy.
Is that retail media puts your ad right there when someone's already shopping on that platform. They're looking at products, they're in that mindset.
Super targeted. It connects directly to the point of purchase. Powerful when price and availability are top concerns for shoppers.
Mm-hmm. And again, the absolute necessity of measurable ROI. Allen hammers this home on his podcast. Every marketing dollar needs to prove its worth.
You got to track it, measure it, optimize it. No wasted spend.
And one last practical tip from Allen's playbook for this situation. Really think about targeting local and domestic consumers.
Why specifically?
Because they might be less directly impacted by the international shipping issues, the tariff-driven price hikes on imports. Allen always says, know your audience deeply. Focusing on market segments less exposed to these specific tariff pains could mean a more stable customer base right now.
Okay, so pulling all this together, the big message, blending the data with Allen Stafford's practical marketing view, seems to be, yes, these Liberation Day tariffs are a challenge, a big one for small businesses, for e-commerce.
No doubt.
But a proactive, strategic approach, focusing on those practical, results-focused solutions Allen talks about, that can help you navigate it and maybe, just maybe, find some new opportunities.
That's the grow bold, go beyond spirit, isn't it? It's about adapting, being smart, maybe a bit brave, and pushing past the immediate hurdles.
So, quick recap of the essentials, all things Allen would likely emphasize. Adapt the supply chain. Look at diversification. Look at domestic. Understand the customer shift. They're likely more value focused, so think strategic pricing, think bundles, maybe private label.
And optimize that marketing spend.
Right.
Laser focus on ROI. Lean into channels like search and retail media that seem more resilient right now. And don't forget, clear, honest communication with your customers. Build that trust.
Okay, so here's that final thought for you to chew on. Building on Allen's philosophy. With the big players, the huge corporations, maybe struggling with complex global supply chains, maybe slower to adapt. Could this actually be a moment, a window for nimble small businesses like yours perhaps to grab some market share? By maybe leaning into local sourcing, by building really strong personal customer relationships, by targeting your marketing super precisely to local folks less worried about these specific tariff impacts.
It's definitely something to consider. Allen would likely say, look for the opportunity within the challenge. Be resourceful, be innovative.
It's worth taking some time, really thinking about your specific business and figuring out which of these strategies, inspired by Allen Stafford's practical insights, make the most sense for your next steps.
Adapt and think differently. That's often the key.
And hey, as you're figuring all this out, definitely keep tuning into Allen Stafford's Marketing Notes from the Binder podcast over at marketingbinder.com. His focus on practical insights that deliver real results. That's exactly the kind of guidance needed right now. It's grow bold, go beyond in action.
Couldn't agree more.
Thanks for taking this deep dive with us today.
And that was your daily marketing note from the Binder, curated by myself, Allen Stafford. Hey, if you found it helpful, be sure to subscribe, share it with a fellow entrepreneur, and check out marketingbinder.com for free resources, downloads, and deeper strategy. I'll see you in the next podcast.